Okay, well, Taysom Hill against Denver, it was just a weird game. Obviously, only one team had a quarterback. Some people would argue neither team did. But I wanted to talk about Taysom Hill, what he did well, what he didn't do well, and sort of what it means for the New Orleans Saints going forward. Let's start off with the bad and then get to the good. So, the bad, he really struggled making some reads out there. He just did. Like, take a look at this play. So this is the concept, and this is a really good concept against this type of coverage, where it's a cover 3 zone that the defense is in, and this can really work out for New Orleans, largely because one of the advantages you have with having Taysom Hill at quarterback is it almost creates just a natural play action, where the quarterback, even if he doesn't hand the ball off, it could still be a running play, so you never really know if you're a linebacker, and it makes things very difficult for you. And so when you add on the fact that there's going to be a receiver who's running underneath the linebacker, and a receiver who's going to be running further past the linebackers, this is the route that Hill really could look to. Hill takes the snap, but he's not looking in that direction. He's looking at the white circle, which, in fairness, this is a fine read to make. It's Michael Thomas in a one-on-one matchup, so I understand why you'd want to look there. But really, I mean, Thomas isn't really running a creative route on this one, and honestly, a lot of how he is able to get open is with his first step and is with his route running, not as much just like with his speed, although he can, he is fast and does make great contested catches as well. Over the middle, all of the Denver players who are covering the middle of the field are taking away someone who's underneath, meaning that if Hill were to throw it to the yellow circle, he definitely at a certain point would have a window where he could make this throw. So this is probably a throw that he should make, and this isn't the correct read, I think. And I think he should have known that pre-snap. I'm not just, everyone can look at a play after the snap and say maybe this other route was more open. It's difficult, but I do feel like Drew Brees, for example, knows which read to make on this one. And in fairness, as you see, this is nearly complete. Michael Thomas, they go for a back shoulder play. Michael Thomas is nearly able to make the grab. It was a tough catch, but I think he didn't have to make it that difficult. It would have been easier if he threw it over the middle. And watch, on this play, I'm just going to show this just to show maybe why Hill decided to make that read. It's a little play where you're going to run a fake screen to Kamara, and then Thomas runs deep, you hit Thomas. This can really work for the Saints because they love their screen passes to Kamara, so it makes a lot of sense. So Hill takes the snap, he is going to look over to fake the screen, and then looks at Thomas, and he's basically just making this throw. This isn't a read. I don't think there's any scenario where he doesn't make this throw unless maybe Michael Thomas fell down. I think that's the only scenario. Hill is going to make this throw to Thomas no matter what. But for pretty good reason. I mean, you see, Thomas makes the grab. He's really good at that. So sometimes it's okay to just throw one up to your best receiver because they can make the grab. That's not in itself a bad thing, but I just think there was a better route on that play he could have thrown to. There was also this one where kind of a similar idea, just of a player running over the middle, and again, with Hill, there is that natural play action that just comes into play, so that really means that routes over the middle can be really effective with Taysom Hill at quarterback. Hill takes the snap, he looks up, and you got something right here. I mean, this is an open window, and it's only going to get more open. For Hill, he should make this throw. This is the throw that he just should make. And unlike the first play I showed you, where it was really just Hill making a different decision pre-snap, and he kind of just went through with his pre-snap decision, this time he's looking over the middle. So he's looking at a player who is open, and he's just going to be a little bit cautious here. Watch how he just waits and eventually gets sacked. He could have made that throw. He absolutely had time. And, they say in the NFL, you got to be aggressive. You got to fire it quickly because you don't have much time in the pocket. Once you see an opening, you got to make that throw, and Hill does have to make this throw. So, these are a couple of plays that I kind of feel like are rookie mistakes, and it feels weird with a 30-year-old making rookie mistakes, but you know what? I mean, he obviously started very late, so he doesn't have as many NFL reps, and I don't think it's totally fair to hold him to a different standard than a 24-year-old rookie. I mean, there is a difference, but it's not as different, and NFL reps still do matter. You still have to get used to the NFL game. Quite frankly, I wanted to look for some impressive throwing the ball plays that Hill had. He honestly didn't have any. There wasn't a single one that I was impressed by. There really wasn't. The flip side, of course, is that there wasn't really a bad pass or a pass that I said, what are you doing? Even his interception, I thought a lot of it was bad luck. So it's really hard to take away too much from his throwing game. Clearly, Sean Payton expected a win in this game, knew his defense would dominate the Denver offense without a quarterback, and so they just had a very cautious approach. And even with that, they ended up with 2.6 points per drive. That's pretty good. That's actually well above average. So it was not a disaster by any means. One thing I always go back to with Hill is his ability to run with the football, because having a quarterback who can run with the football well is just such a luxury. Like on this play, so it's an empty backfield right here. Kamara is on the screen, but he's all the way to the right. He's not lined up as a halfback here, so typically you would not expect this to be a running play, but with Taysom Hill, it still might be. And you see the blocking concept. It's a very simple concept, but what really makes this work as well as it can is that you basically can have everybody be blocked at the line, whereas typically you'd have to leave someone unblocked. So like on this one, which is a 3rd down and 4 right here, a lot of teams throw the ball, but they trust that Taysom Hill can pick up this yardage, and their offensive line is so good at blocking that when they have a situation like this, look, they could just have a one-on-one block for everybody. Instead, they have a double team, and they're leaving 59 on the right just completely unblocked, and they're going to have Taysom Hill run to the left side of the screen, which makes sense. This is well blocked, and Hill is able to pick up 5 yards and a 1st down, which is just it's a key play, and it's very difficult to do that when you have a back, which could allow another Denver player in the area, and that's just another player you have to block. Now, with Kamara out of the backfield, there's just one less player. Like this one's another example. Again, you can have one-on-one matchups. So, in this situation, there's an empty backfield, and since it's a goal line situation for Denver, they only have 4 players over the middle, and there's obviously 5 offensive linemen. So New Orleans, they could just, run one up the gut, but instead what they're going to do is simply just have their right guard through left tackle all just move over and block those 4 guys. Their right tackle pulls over. They'll have a tight end blocking Chubb, he's also on the line, but he's further off. And then, you have your tackle who can block the final Denver player in that area. The most difficult block here for New Orleans will be their right guard, but the reality is they just have so many talented players on the line that turning it into, honestly, if they just ran a straight-up Wildcat offense, they have the offensive line talent to pull it off. Watch how well blocked this is, and Hill is going to be able to get a touchdown. So, again, regardless of your thoughts on how good Taysom Hill is, the one thing that you have to, no matter what, you have to agree with is that just the fact that New Orleans has such great offensive line talent, it makes things really easy for a running quarterback. And so having a running quarterback and having that option, it really does help in a lot of ways. So yeah, everyone wants to know, is Taysom Hill a long-term answer? I don't know. I would need to see more tape. He barely got any opportunity to show that against Denver, so you'd have to see more. But clearly they can win with him. They're 2-0, and I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.